But let me move to Gareth Edwards now. And I mean, G, you have been covering the story since the early hours of this morning. That number, once again, G, having moved up now, standing at 73 people having died, amongst them being children. We know that victims are also in hospital, and as far as those who are injured, but also a big problem around those who are displaced at the moment and what's to be done about them, and where, of course, their living conditions will ascertain. I think I heard a bit earlier on Kabelo Kwamana saying they've identified 3 buildings and they will be moving them to those buildings. Not sure if that will happen immediately. They're still, sort of confirming the details and, I suppose the logistics and administration involved in terms of all those people. But a big concern we have to also just underpin. But from where you are, G, if I can just come back to you, how's it looking from your perspective, Gareth?
Yeah, welcome back, everyone. I'm afraid as we are now heading up to 11:30, it has been nearly half a day since the tragedy unfolded in this building behind us here in Marshalltown in Johannesburg. As you say, 73 lives lost. Thankfully, as far as injuries are concerned, those who were transported from here, according to EMS, it was around 42 people for minor injuries, more than likely smoke inhalation. None of those, to my knowledge, that to the people I've spoken to, those taken to hospital have passed away as a result. We heard Robert Malawutsi from EMS saying that those who were taken away had these minor injuries like smoke inhalation. But I'm so glad, Tumsa, you mentioned the living conditions, because I think that's been the big talking point that possibly could have led up to this. And there's a very brave young lady that I'd like to just have a talk to. Took a little bit of convincing to join me on eNCA. I think let's just start here. Thank you for talking to me. Just tell me your name and where are you living in the CBD at the moment? Are you still living around here?
My name is Afile Madia. I'm no longer living around here in the CBD, but I'm very close. I'm here in Joburg Town. So I came here to check up on my friends because I have people that I know who I used to stay with here, because I used to stay here.
I wanted to talk about that. I understand you used to live in this building. Can you take me inside? What was it like and why did you move from here?
Okay, firstly, I think around 2016, that's when I started to stay here, because it was a place for women and children, abused women and children. Okay, I was not abused, and also my mother was not abused, just that my mother just lost a job, and then someone told her that there's this place where you can stay if you don't have a place to stay. Then I came here in February 2016, and then we stayed here until 2017 when the management was no longer serving the community, the people who are staying here. And then people were very furious and mad about that. And then she decided to leave the place. And then we stayed alone, with no management for from 2017 with no management, until men vandalized the place because they figured out that we were not paying rent here. And then from 2017, we stayed here. Then 2019, they got in by force. And we went to I think COJ officers telling them that men want to vandalize the place and they want to stay with us now, and we're not comfortable with staying with men.
Did you know who these men were?
All over, not really know them, but because they were from here, around these places, because they knew that now we're staying here and there's no management, they can just come here and stay, because obviously we don't have the power to say no to them, as long as, because I remember when they started staying here, we now started to cut our own keys. So every women who are staying here, they had their own key to get in the gate, but at some point, I don't know who gave away the key, then they started to get in.
I've been hearing as well that in the rooms, I've counted, there's 22 rooms on each floor. There's 5 floors. Yeah. How many people were living in a room? Do you remember?
When we were staying alone, women, just one lady with her kids. Okay, we were expected to have at least one, not one, but your boys should be less than 10 years. So it was strictly for women and then young boys. And then we're saying one or maybe, okay, don't even count. Anyone can say as long as they're family. But when they started to get in here, they built shacks within a room. There's a room, you build a shack, a board or a card box, and then maybe around 5-8 people stay here and then they're paying rent to that person.
Because I've heard it's an informal settlement within the building as well. I need to leave you. I need to go back to something else in a second. But just the last question to you: were you surprised that a fire started here?
No, it's this thing. It was a long time coming. We knew this was going to happen. Okay, we didn't know with fire or petrol, but we knew that one day these buildings are burn out. Because I remember we used to ask ourselves, like as a family, what can you guys do if this building burns out?
I need to interrupt you very quickly. We've got an update from EMS. I'm very sorry, but thank you for just taking the time to give us a sense from what's happening inside.